My name is Jamin Goecker. I'm an associate real estate broker in the state of Alaska, and my mission is to help you to build an intentional and significant legacy for yourself and your family by coaching you in real estate. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that doesn't actually come up very much, but that is, could you spend $50,000 every single month? Like every single month, could you spend $50,000 in Alaska? Because everyone is always talking about how expensive Alaska is. So is it possible? Well, yes, it is. And we're going to be jumping into the numbers today and really divulging how it is that you could spend $50,000 a month here. Before we get started, though, get this video liked, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And without further ado, let's go and jump into today's video. All right, first off, I'm going to say I do not really recommend living on a budget where you're spending $50,000 a month unless you are just uber wealthy, in which case, congratulations, got a lot of respect. For most people, this is just going to be kind of a fun little activity where we see exactly how you would get to the point where you're spending this amount of money. So, got that out of the way. This is not financial advice, but let's jump into it here. Number one, housing. And give myself as much of a chance here as possible to hit $50,000. We're going to say you're going to go find a $2 million home, which if you're looking, there are exactly 10 homes in all of Alaska that are $2 million or more. So that's something you're looking for. Feel free to reach out. But for those of you who are accounting, if you were to get about a $2 million home based on, I think it's a 6.75 interest rate, you'd be looking at approximately $13,700 every month. So let's start with that. Now, the next thing we're going to look at is going to be the repairs and the maintenance, which if it's a $2 million home, I'm going to say let's budget about $1,000 a month for repairs and the maintenance of it. Additionally, I'm going to say about $800 for utilities, which for a property like that, I'm assuming it's also going to be pretty sizable. I don't think $800 is outside the realm of possibility. And also, if we're looking at the taxes every month, I'm going to say it's probably, I don't know with 100% certainty, obviously it depends where it's at. I'm going to say $1,500 per month in property taxes is not that far-fetched. Now, you're not going to come to Alaska and live here and just never travel anywhere. Yes, you are going to have to get around. I'm assuming you're probably going to have multiple vehicles. I'm assuming they're probably going to be paid off, just going statistically. I'm going to say you're probably going to be spending, we'll say about $500 a month on transportation. And that's probably being pretty generous there. Now, for groceries, I'm going to say for a family of four with, 2 kids, I'm going to say dining in and buying groceries, probably about $1,500 or so a month. Obviously, that could be way off depending on if you're eating out a whole lot or where exactly it is that you're eating out. But I'm going to budget about $1,500 a month on groceries and eating out. All right, something I know that we all know about, and that is health insurance. I'm going to assume we're going to be on the higher end of this, just based off of the income here. I'm going to assume probably about $2,000 a month or so for health insurance for a family of 4. And obviously that can be way up, way down. We're just going with some generalizations here. Now, before we go too much further and we kind of dive into kind of those Alaska specific hobbies and activities that are going to really drive up the price here, let's go and take a break real quick here. For those of you who've been watching for a while, you do know that I host a podcast called the Alaskan Journey Podcast, where I interview people who've recently moved up here. That's something that would benefit you to kind of see other people's experiences and hear their tips and tricks. Do make sure you go check that out in the description section down below. And also, I have a relocation guide for those of you who are moving up here. So do make sure you go check that out as well in the description section. When you're registering to my website, just make sure you put relocation guide so I know what it is that I need to send you. Now, let's go and finish up today's video. Education is obviously going to be a fairly expensive line item for you every month. I'm going to say about $5,000. If you have 2 kids and we're assuming about $30,000 a year per child, I'm going to say about $5,000 a month just kind of as a baseline for education. Now, in addition to that $5,000 a month, I am also going to tack on about $1,600 per month for activities like hockey or skiing, a lot of these other activities that I'm assuming you're probably going to be really into if you're wanting to spend $50,000 a month. Now, getting into the hobbies here, I'm going to say for a plane, which I'm assuming you're probably going to want some kind of a plane. If you're this affluent, you're living in Alaska, you want some kind of a Cessna, some kind of a plane so you can fully access the entire state. And I think you can get a good plane, like let's just say a 2015 182T Skylane. You can buy one, you can finance it for approximately $3,800 a month. So if you're just looking at financing it, yeah, you could probably get it for about that. Real quick on the note on the plane, let's also assume you're going to be spending some money as well on keeping the instruments up to date, making sure all the qualifications and all the sign-offs on everything is going to be good. I mean, also you're going to have to actually store that thing as well. So that's going to be a pretty good ticket item for you every month. Moving on, I'm going to say you're probably going to be spending about $3,000 a month on entertainment and recreation here in the area. And I mean, really the sky's the limit as far as that goes. And it's going to be stuff that's outside the norm, like skiing lessons, hockey, all that good stuff. There's going to be some fun stuff for you to go and do. And you know, you've got the money. Why not spend it? Now, this next one can be as expensive or as cheap as you like, but I'm going to give you about $5,000 every month to just go out and explore Alaska. So you can go on those plane flights, charter a flight to somewhere maybe you've never been before, like Attu or somewhere super remote. You can, go spend the night in all these really remote locations that are really luxury. So I think $5,000 a month is being pretty generous, and that's going to give you enough to really explore everything that the state has to offer. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, where are we going to make up all this extra money here? We're still about, $15,000, $20,000 short. Well, this is where I bring in getting a boat, okay? So in this scenario, you are going to have to get a boat in order to make up the difference here. And for those of you who aren't aware, yes, boats are an absolute money pit. And in this case, you're going to be going big. So I'm going to budget about $7,000 a month, and you're going to be going for something a little bit more on the luxury side, like let's say a 2010 Coastal Cruiser 400 IPS. You're going to be looking for something more like that. And yeah, it's going to cost you about $7,000 a month. For the boat maintenance, I really don't have a whole lot of experience there. I'm going to just assume you're probably going to be looking at something like $2,000 a month or so, just depending on what needs to be done, fine-tuning instruments, keeping things updated, all the stuff that goes into maintaining a vessel like that. Last but not least, you're going to need some pretty hefty insurance if you're looking at insuring an airplane and you're looking at insuring this boat. I'm going to say at least $1,600 a month you're going to be spending. All right, when all the numbers are in, you're going to be spending actually a little over $50,000. It is going to be $50,000 and $5. Okay, $50,000 and $5. I think I said that correctly. So you're actually going to be a little above budget. That $5 might really throw you off. But yes, for those of you who are interested, this is exactly how you would go about spending this kind of money here in Alaska. And a little far-fetched. And really starts making our living expenses not seem that bad once you put it in this context. So I sure hope this video has been entertaining for you. If it has, give this video a like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and we'll talk with you later.